Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of the Vintage Anime Club podcast, your podcast for old school anime. Drinking lots of wine, except for today, for some reason, because we are recording on Memorial Day weekend.
We got beer.
Yes, we do.
And hard lemonade.
And beer and lots of other different liquors. So it's going to be
American tradition.
Yes, it's going to be a very different kind of episode. I'm one of the hosts, Dennis. Joining me today, we have fellow host Ed.
Hello.
Eve.
Ayo.
We've got our regular crew of Garrett,
Yo.
Karen,
Hi.
and Caitlin.
I'm back.
Yay!
From outer space. Practically.
I just have one complaint as of today, which is, holy shit, those Uniqlo shirts sell out super quickly.
Yeah, you gotta get on it, man.
Well, when they sell out at 8 a.m., by the time I get up.
Unless you're into Prince of Tennis and it's available 2 days later and you forgot to order it.
What kind of otaku are you? You gotta be
One that
lining up,
has to go to work in the morning?
lining up for opening. Calling sick.
But man, I remember when shirts, like anime shirts, were either Dragon Ball Hot Topic or Logo.
Yeah.
That was it.
Pretty
So
much.
Right.
we're spoiled now in terms of quality that we have, especially with like t-shirt a day sales.
Still
type
need,
stuff.
still need to work on the female.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Males.
They do.
That's a rant by me for another day.
Yes.
At least with the t-shirt a day, you are able to choose a women's fitted size
Yes.
shirt at least.
Yes.
So we are here to continue talking about Big O, but first, Garrett, what have you been watching?
I don't think anything new from the last time I was on. My Hero Academia, Food Wars, One Piece, all the good stuff.
Cool.
Most of my time has been going into playing and beating Dad of Boy, also known as God of War.
Yes. Everybody's like, oh, he's so amazing. I'm like, but they just added a child, and
That does make it better.
It makes
I
a
know.
big difference.
I mean, and
that's how they fix shows all the time. They're like, let's add a
right. I mean,
child.
there's a lot of that's taken from like The Last of Us and stories like that in The Road, but his character is way more nuanced than just the angry yelling Kratos of yesteryear.
So
And there is actual storytelling.
Is this his second kid or his third kid? I don't remember.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, because they fridged his daughter.
Okay.
So,
I didn't
know.
remember if he had a daughter and a son from the first game because I never played God of War. So that's what I was trying to.
I
get
didn't
out.
play it either, but that's what.
No, I mean,
That's what I was
honestly, like a lot of people like to look back on it fondly with nostalgia glasses, but you're not missing much.
Okay.
At the time, they were great games because they kind of, I mean, they did bring about the whole age of context-sensitive combat and all that, but in QuickTime events, it was good for what it was. But I'm really enjoying God of War 4. It's
I
a
just
good game.
think I wasn't able to afford all the games at that time, and I was more of like, well, if I'm going to pick one action game, I guess I'll stick with Devil May Cry. So I think that's what I was doing.
That is the more on the surface anime type title.
Yes, that appealed to me because it
Which
was Capcom. 1 and 3.
Okay. Not the
I tried to.
What
no.
judging?
I also played a bit of 4, and I almost beat that game. Then I was like, whatever.
Did you get stuck on when it makes you go back through the entire game
Yeah.
backwards?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What the hell?
There's like maybe
Pretty
around
much.
15 levels or so when
af-
you're Nero, and then you switch to Dante, and you get to go through it again backwards.
Yeah, that was just like, I like playing as Dante. This is fun.
You know,
And
there's
then go back
another-
to Nero, and I'm like, oh, man.
There's another DMC movie, not movie,
The
game
anime.
you can play. It's called Nocturne.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say DMC.
I thought you were going to reboot DMC.
Code 2.
Eve, what have you been watching?
Just
Or
like
playing, I guess.
3 things mostly.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, I did start Wotakoi, and it's
Oh, nice.
too moe for me.
Oh.
I can't handle.
I need to
I
start
still watched
that.
it though.
Moe.
It's moe.
I would not go. But yeah, whatever.
What have you been up to?
Watching, I'm up to date with Darling in the Franxx, Hozuki, and Persona 5.
Nice.
I like people are. It's all right now. People
For
are
which
getting up. Darling in the Franxx. People are getting up in arms about shit, and I'm just like, well, it's kind of still early.
I think you mean Up in Arms about ship. That's what it is. Up in Arms about.
That too, and then like this recent episode, people are like, it's worse than Evangelion, and I'm just like, I didn't really like Evangelion anyway, so.
So this is great.
In terms of like the characters or the story,
Story,
or
I
The reveal. The story reveal.
Okay, I was
about
about
to
to
people
say,
are
did-
pissed off about.
did it end just completely ambiguous and completely like throw away whatever storytelling it had?
I think no, it's only like the show's only halfway through.
More than halfway. They're on
No,
like
they're-
17,
they're-
18?
They've got to be like 5 or 6 episodes away from done at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just like,
Still in the core.
I'll wait for a full
I'm only
opinion.
on like 14 or whatever. I'll eventually get there at the end. I've invested too much to not finish, though. I say that as I've also gotten to the same amount of episodes with Elegant Yokai Apartment Life and dropped that. Maybe I'll get back to that too. I don't know. Whatever.
Persona 5 just finished the Yusuke arc. And it was good and pure, because he's good and pure.
I have no idea what that means.
It's Yusuke.
Did they bring out that the last
the Sugita
episode? 'Cause
character.
Oh, okay.
the one
The
that we watched at
yesterday's.
Jets. Oh yeah, I haven't watched that one.
Yeah.
See, after actually playing through the whole game and now knowing like who and what you're talking about, you are such a weeb.
This is Eve we're talking about.
Garrett, look where we are.
Well,
Yeah,
you
by
also
our standards.
remember who voices him also. So
I'm not into
Sugita.
Sugita, though. I just love Yusuke.
How can you not like Sugita?
He's
Because there's a
not really
Koyasu-shaped
my
hole
type.
blocking.
No.
You don't slash him with Nakamura all the time. Come on.
I don't care.
Eve just wants to be painted like his French girls.
No, that scene was hilarious.
Karen, what have you been watching, if anything?
apparently I'm an episode behind.
Yes, you
Although that was in last week, so
Yes.
the painting was in last week. So, Persona 5, because I love Persona 5, and I've just been floating around my standard ones, although I did binge watch all of Steins Gate, because Steins Gate 0 is out now. So I watched all of Steins Gate
Nice.
and the alternate 23B episode, and then apparently there's a movie which I also need to watch, and then I can watch 0. So I'm like, well, okay.
Got to get that homework done.
Priorities, I guess. Get it all done in advance. So, yeah, I watched that one, and I enjoyed it. I didn't know what language I was going to watch it in, and someone was like, Mama was in Japanese. I went, okay, Karen.
obviously.
No, in Japanese, so okay. Like that answered my question right there. I guess I'm watching
Are you
it.
playing any of the new Hakuoki games?
No, I am not.
You guys didn't get the Persona
Eve is-
dancing
Eve is
games?
That one, did it just come out in Japan, or is it not out yet? The dancing ones aren't.
Oh,
out.
no, not yet. They're not.
Yeah.
They're
out
not
yet.
out here?
No.
I can't wait to pre-order.
I see
that.
all the ads. The ads are all over PSN.
Yeah, I know the ads are
Nice.
everywhere.
But when will Persona 1 and 2 get to dance? to?
Never. Those are the black sheep of the Persona.
Pretend they don't exist.
I just want one of the Persona characters from P1 to just dance to that dumb Brown song, because his name was Brown in the English version.
Oh.
And there's a song that's all like, "Who's that?" Brown.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Ed, how about you?
I also started watching Otakoi since so many people said it was good. So
Is
I like it. It's been pretty
Yeah,
good
you
so
get on
far.
that
I
then.
caught up with everything, so
it's so relatable.
it is. It hits a little hard, like too close to home. It is very relatable in that sense. So, but yeah, so that's been entertaining. Still watching Hozuki, Shokugeki,
Lots of ease.
other stuff that have been continuing. I don't know. I'm not watching like that many new shows this season.
Okay.
Oh, there's Mahou Shoujo Ore, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like default.
Oh, I'm
for us
behind on
now.
that.
Oh, apparently Suda Ken was added to the newest episode.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can't remember if I'm behind on that or not. I
Probably.
The
think-
most recent one they had the handshake ceremony.
We started that, and then I
Yeah.
didn't get to finish it, so I got to go back to
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
Okay, I remember
Well,
now.
and they update Mondays, so tomorrow there'll be a new episode as well.
Now you got 2.
You. Caitlin, how about
Binge-worthy.
you? What have you been
Oh.
watching?
So I was thinking about it as everybody was going around, and I don't think I've been on since I was sworn in.
No, no, you have not.
You have not.
That's been a long time. So obviously I've been busy with work and stuff, but I did manage to binge through all of Agretzko, which I
Yay.
enjoyed, and immediately bought clothes to cosplay from it. So, that's happening, I guess.
Who are you going to be?
I'm gonna try to do like a punk rock version of Retsuko.
Cool.
Like I bought a jean vest that I'm gonna like overdye royal blue in a jean skirt.
Add some
and
kiss makeup.
Then and like put studs all over it and pins and whatnot.
Practice your death metal growl yet?
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten there yet, so I won't embarrass myself on the podcast. But I'll probably want to do that. But, I have no idea when that's going to happen.
It's not like you don't have access to a microphone to borrow to have with you as a cosplay prop.
I don't know, Dennis. I think I want to get something that I could potentially throw.
Okay.
Drop, throw,
There might be
punt.
foam. There might be foam ones.
I'm sure I can get something cheap off of Amazon that I can
Sure you
beat the
can.
hell out of.
Those kid plastic ones that have the reverb that are
Oh,
in it.
that's fun.
Oh, that would be fun to play with.
There you
I don't
go.
know. It seems like an AX thing, so maybe AX
Oh, goodness.
pelt crowds with plastic microphones.
Nice. As for me, I also have not been watching as much due to sumo. I've been watching more
Very
of that
important.
during free time. Though I have been trying to slowly catch up to most of the shows. One in particular catching up with is Golden Kamui,
Yes.
which has been most excellent. So I'm still like one behind, at least as of this recording. So by the time this episode comes out, I'm probably going to be 2 behind. Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, there was a point where I was 4 behind, so I'm just glad I'm making slow progress. But yeah, it's been real good. Got to make Kate watch it because she hasn't seen anything, I think, past the first episode. So yeah,
And when it's over, you know what you have to do next after that?
I don't.
Read the manga.
Okay. I was like, go to the woods and hunt tattoo people?
They make the facial expressions better in the manga.
Yeah. Convince someone that miso isn't poop?
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I think that'll wrap it up for what everyone's been up to. So let's get back into topic at hand of the Big O. We are going to be going over episodes 5 through 9. And who remembers? Well, actually, wait. We have new people on. Yeah. Eve, Caitlin, have you guys seen the Big O before watching it for this podcast?
Yes, I have.
I have double checked my memory.
No. I wasn't sure if he was going to talk first or not.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to make eye contact and I failed. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I watched it when it originally ran on Toonami and Adult Swim. I was one of the people who was like turbo excited about season 2. One of my first.
Sorry.
Dang. Dang, Karen.
Season 2 is good, not the ending.
Well,
Then that doesn't make it good.
we'll get there. One of my first cosplays was Dorothy. So
Aww.
this show holds a special place in my heart. I'm sorry I couldn't be there last weekend that we
That's
recorded,
okay.
but I'm happy to jump on the train now.
We do have 3 episodes to go over all of season 1 for Big O, so
It's true.
you got time.
Yeah.
How about you, Eve? Did you get to watch this beforehand?
Some back when it was airing on Toonami, just like a couple episodes here and there, but I've never really seen all of it.
Oh.
Oh.
So, have you really seen the first few episodes at least?
I don't know because they're out of order.
Oh, okay.
I don't even really remember what
that
I've
is
seen.
the rough part.
Until I'm like watching it and feel like deja vu and be like, okay, maybe I have seen some of this.
Yeah. I just loved how it was all like it definitely has animation tones of, the original Batman animated series.
I really thought it was originally American cartoon.
Oh.
It does
never
have a
knew
very
it was-
simplistic
yeah.
style.
I never
which
knew it was
I
Japanese.
liked.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. Once the giant robot rolled in, I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely Japanese.
Yes. I will agree
But
with that.
yeah, so that's what attracted me to it. And also, I'm a big fan of like detective novels and 1940s everything. So this had that.
Nice. I just have one more question for you because we also asked this when we were discussing the first few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Smith is the best negotiator in Paradigm City. Is that because he's the only negotiator in Paradigm City?
This is like Paradigm's cat.
Because
It's the city's bicycle.
he seems very, very good. But almost all the episodes that we have seen, he has failed at his negotiations.
I was like, I guess they don't have anyone else.
I don't think he successfully negotiated one client since we started watching
Yeah.
in
did-
the show at all.
No, he did one
Who?
with help. We'll get to it. It's in this.
Is
these
it in this?
episodes.
Oh yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's
There,
true.
there may be a reason why I missed that.
He seems less like
maybe
a,
two. Maybe two.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He does seem less like a negotiator and more of a guy who reminds people that other people have feelings,
Yes.
or like Mr. Logic Man.
Or Private Eye. Just Private Eye.
Yeah, or just Private Eye Man. So probably my current headcanon is that he's not really a negotiator. It's just a code name like Batman. So he can call himself whatever he wants. He's still the best code name. It's like you're the best dentist.
Is he Wolverine? He's the best at what he does.
Is he
doesn't-
Paradigm City's Wolverine? That's a really tough
Well, he
call.
doesn't tell people to fuck off.
Not yet.
Sometimes he does. I mean, he almost did in the first
like-
episode that we
Yeah,
watched.
it's true.
Even his name or even negotiator would be too long to put as a like skylight.
Yes.
I
But
don't know. It would just. Well, yeah. Since they don't know who he is, it would just be a giant circle in the sky. Big O. Look, there's a big O in the sky.
Well, it'd either be that or just a broken building.
Yeah. Destroyed.
oops.
All right. You guys ready to get into the episode talks?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
全ての過去をなくした街永遠に誓おう孤独の胸に火を灯し御言葉に我が見つめ
So when we last left off, what was episode 4? Underground Terror,
Yes.
with the whole fighting a
The
skeleton
Godzilla
robot.
Looking, yeah, the
The
Godzilla looking city.
ex-journalist.
Yeah, ex-journalist. What was his name? Schwartzwald.
The mummy guy who set himself on fire
Yeah,
like a
That
genius.
looks like Scarecrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like part Scarecrow, part Two-Face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Everybody's real smart in this show.
they are in a way. But let's get on to episode number 5. Ed, what's the title?
Bring back my ghost.
Start off with a ghost. And driving down through some dangerous fog, which,
If
I
you
don't-
talk shit at it, it hears you.
right?
And then kills you.
I didn't think I'd see a mech ghost ever. And here we are.
Surprise.
Surprise. I was like, oh,
Yes.
this ghost is the mecha.
Yes.
And
the
no-
moral of that story is talk shit, get hit.
Wow.
Wow.
She summarizes it in one sentence.
Well, it's true. I mean, we automatically hate the dude that we're looking
Introduced
at
to.
because this driver's like, hey, can I avoid this thing that is clearly unsettling me? And he's like, what are you, a moron? No.
This is the fastest way.
yeah.
I want to get there quickly.
He literally is just like, can we take a different street? And he's like, no, you're an idiot. You're like,
So he's like Dio in part 3, where he gets in the taxi. He's like, drive.
that's not how taxis work.
As we're all just pondering that reference.
Did that go over everyone else's head?
Anyway,
I'm like one of 5 humans who doesn't watch JoJo.
Roger got hired by some rich old blind lady.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, technically, he was asked to by a lawyer, but yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
by her son,
But-
the
but,
high
yeah,
rolling
he's
lawyer.
Rick Fraser.
He's just her agent.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
yes.
wrote down like negotiator meets lawyer. This is a strange match.
And that's where he almost tells somebody to go.
Yeah.
Go fuck themselves.
It's like, go fuck yourself, Mr. Lawyer. I mean, you are rude. Time to leave.
Yeah.
As I close my door and try to talk to you through a closed.
that comes
Well,
later.
that was,
Oh, no.
that was after he meets mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, right.
This mom, the mom is. They don't really have like her name. She's just like Mrs. Fraser or
No,
Miss Fraser
her name's Melissa.
Okay.
Kate from the background shouts, "Her name is Melissa." She remembers
He
this.
says it once.
Yeah. He says, like, Melissa doesn't understand that this is going to be really hard or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you're on a first name basis with the old lady. Okay.
Remember, there are a couple things that he respects, and two of them happen to be elderly and women. So
2-for-1 deal.
2 for 1 for this person.
Men.
So he's hired to negotiate with the ghost?
No, he's just asked by her to bring back her son.
Yes. What
for
does that have
her
to do with
birthday.
negotiation?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. It's a code name. It's a code name.
I think what she says is he has proven to follow through on any requests that he has agreed to. And so she for sure wants it. She's like, if anyone can do it, you can do it.
It doesn't
So
change the
she's-
fact it has nothing to do with negotiating.
No.
Yeah. He's
But
a negotiator.
she does make a deal with him, not really negotiating, but to find something for her.
Yeah.
I mean, he is more of the private eye, doing odd jobs person. And
Yeah.
since this is very heavily noir
This
influenced in the
This
first
is also
place.
the first time I feel we see a part of Paradigm City that doesn't look like complete shit.
because that's where all the rich people
Yeah,
live.
Easttown,
in the dome.
where there's like a bioluminescent light that they have to make it seem like it's a sunny day.
It looks literally like a giant LED light.
Yeah, a couple of them.
You don't say. Thinking about how this show ends.
It reminds me a little bit of I don't know, maybe like Truman Show in a way.
Yeah. Or what is it? Elysium? Is that the name of the movie that had Matt
Matt
Damon
Damon?
in
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah,
like
it
the
is.
people that the rich people that lived above the surface.
Oh yeah.
In
Yeah.
the fancy places with the grass,
Yeah.
not destroyed buildings and everything.
And Roger has to find her son Bonnie, which I had to look up because I'm like, are they saying Barney or are they saying Bonnie?
No,
Because
they're definitely saying Bunny.
Well, even
Yeah.
in the subtitles, it's Bonnie.
watching it dubbed. So.
You
Without
could
the
put the
subtitles.
closed caption.
You cannot.
You cannot.
No,
on these
you
discs.
cannot on these
Wow.
discs.
You only have two options.
You have English or Japanese with subtitles. That's it.
Screw you, hearing impaired.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're hearing impaired, you can't hear it in English anyway. Still,
Well,
that is lame.
Impaired
Could
doesn't
be.
mean deaf. It means hard of hearing.
Yeah.
There's
Could
one
be hard of hearing.
complication to this job, which is Bonnie is dead or presumed
For a year.
dead. For a
Oh,
year.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Great big bridge shootout. Mm-hmm. He fell off the edge.
There was some kind of protest. The police are called in. So, you don't find out what happens right away, but somewhere along the way, he gets shot and falls off the bridge. And somehow that makes the protest stop, which I didn't quite understand.
That I didn't understand either because, like, there were 2 guns that went off at least.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure there are many, many more guns at this riot. And just one cop falling over the bridge is enough to make everyone stop, including the people in the back who are getting ready to throw like a Molotov cocktail or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that guy fell.
Oh,
I guess we
no.
should go home. I
Oh,
didn't think people were
no.
going to die here today with
Dang.
our riots and with our guns that we're
I
carrying.
think he was like a good civil servant, so I think that was the implication of some innocent man who actually was helping the people and was not on the side of the lawyers or whatever.
Do you know the name of good civil servants? I sure don't.
Ooh, snap.
It's not that. It's more of like I have like yes, they are out there. I have no idea what the name is, so I don't know if I would recognize someone getting shot like that who
That-
fell off the bridge in the middle of the
They
night.
live in domes. I don't know. There's only so many people that are in those.
These
Yeah.
domes are pretty big.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it could
if
be a small dome. I mean,
if
there's like a
giant
variety of-
mechs can have full on fights like this
yeah,
and not damage the dome,
in the big dome.
They must have muted out the part where the crowd is like, no, not Bonnie.
I don't know, I guess anyone but
He
Bonnie.
only wants what's good and just, and he is dead now.
Boo!
This
I'm
is
going
very
home.
Shakespeare, honestly. Kyushio gets stabbed and everybody stops what they're doing so that he can monologue.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have bit his
I
thumb.
mean, he is kind of the best character.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like that, but I really didn't do it. Just saying.
So we kind of start getting into the similar cycle of what happens with this series, at least what I'm seeing. Roger gets hired by somebody, goes sees his informant guy who has a name,
Big ear.
Big
Big
ear.
ear.
and finds out info about the target of negotiation. Not
Or
really
just
sure.
any information that
Yeah.
will help him.
And then has to get into a mech.
Of course.
Well, a couple of things happen. We see that he has to find someone named Colonel Gauss, who is apparently one of the few people who are still alive that have had beef with Bonnie for some reason.
Well, the other two are dead.
I think of the three. Was it four
was it
people
three?
total? I can't remember.
I think
Yeah, there was
Gauss was
4
the
in
third.
total.
Okay,
Okay.
so 3 of them dead. There's one more that's left. Apparently he had like a little escort or whatever. Roger came and tried to talk to Dostin about it and wouldn't tell him until he got a phone call immediately saying, "Hey, this is Dostin. What do you mean you lost him?" Wah.
Fastest talker in the history of the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, what? What? Something happened? Timmy fell down the well.
Because it looks like somebody has kidnapped Gus. Mm-hmm. And we found out
It's Bonnie.
it's Bonnie. He's not dead.
How do you
What a shock.
Is it I'm like how hard is it to live in Paradigm City anyway without anyone realizing you've been alive for a year?
Good question. Who
I
knows?
don't know. He has kind of a plain face.
He does.
And he wears his hat low.
Based on what? Everybody has a plain face in the show.
Exactly. If
And
everyone's plain, how do you
I
point
guess
someone out?
if he's staying by the bridge to the smaller dome area, there is a lot of fog there, so maybe it's hard to see him.
I think the bridges are actually between the domes. Some of the domes. So that could potentially be not in
Unless
a
he
dome.
lives in the robot.
Yeah, I mean, he could be wherever the robot's being stored also.
Spoilers, it's a robot. It's not a ghost, it's a robot that is causing a projection.
On
But-
fog.
Yeah, on fog. I guess the robot actually generates the fog. But before that was revealed, we have the cop or military. I keep calling them cops because they are.
Well, they're
But
military
technically
police, so-
military police. They're trying to stop the robot or the ghost rather. And I love how when Dostin first arrives on the scene, he's like, "Ghosts aren't real. Shoot it. Shoot it. Whatever. Spend all the bullets. It's fine. Just keep shooting. Keep firing." And then all of a sudden, the missiles comes like, "Oh shit."
He's like, oh, a ghost real after all?
Yeah.
After we've wasted all those bullets?
Think of our ammunition budget now. Oh, what a waste. What a tragedy. Big O comes out of the water, starts fighting, still can't hit it, and realizes that there are missile vapor trails that he is able to look at and track where the position of the actual robot is.
We get it. He vapes.
It's a projection.
That
It's
is
actually more impressive, I think, that the fact that the robot was able to make it look like the missiles came from the ghost, even when the ghost was not
Oh, that's right.
where the robot was.
yeah, I guess
Because there were some that fired directly out of the robot, but the blue missiles were always directed from where the projection was.
I think it just depends on the angle of where the ghost projection was. Because if it was kind of in line with where the robot actually was, you can make it so that the missiles just go, certain missiles go straight and then needing to guide the missiles another way. So I'm not really sure how this robot is being worked because it shows that Bonnie is the robot's operator, but he's on the bridge. He's not piloting the mech inside.
Nope.
So he must have some sort of remote control device to help with that. I'm not.
They don't really make
I don't
that
really
part
play.
clear.
Maybe he has a cool police watch or something that does everything, like Roger Smith's watch. I don't know.
Well, even before, because it was revealed that when he falls into the water, the robot catches him.
yeah, it
So
kind
it's
of
already-
responds to him.
It's
in
already
distress.
semi-operational at that point.
Yeah. I don't know if there are a lot of robots, or at least Megaduces, that are able to actually operate without a pilot inside. Usually, at least when we had, the first few episodes with Dorothy 1.
Right. I mean, as the story goes on, you kind of see that they play very fast and loose with the rules of how the Megaduces work and don't work.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I was just like, I need more ground rules for this. There's not enough rules.
There's no rules in anime.
Well, I don't. This episode,
All the rules are only with the negotiator.
yeah.
Okay.
This episode, the robot was not focal point. Robot
Yeah, we
was
barely
kind of
even
just
see
like
what the robot looks like out of the fog.
Yeah, it got blown up real quick.
Yep. But we had a nice little touching reunion with Bonnie and his mom and his shitbag brother, lawyer.
Who actually does love his brother.
Yeah.
He just is a horrible lawyer. So.
Is he a horrible?
He's probably
a horrible
good,
Well,
yeah.
he looks like a horrible lawyer.
No, he looks like a lawyer.
He's probably a good
He looks
lawyer.
like a lawyer.
He's probably a good lawyer, a horrible person.
Oh, there we
I'm
go.
agreeing with Ed.
Because he works for Paradigm City and
Yes.
is apparently very successful.
Yes.
But they also went into how the mom is actually probably not a very good person
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. Because you have to do all kinds of probably shady things in order to get enough money to live under the dome
Yeah. Or Easttown, rather.
or Easttown.
Yeah.
It's only Bonnie who is the good guy in the family. And mom actually knows this. She says, "Oh, I've done so many bad things, but I'm blessed too."
She just wanted
Be
to
able
see
to meet-
Bonnie
to
one
meet
more
you one more
time
time.
before she passes away.
Quote unquote, see,
Quote unquote, see. Yeah.
because she's
Talk
blind.
to.
Hey, she said she got super senses when she went blind.
That's-
She,
that is
she
true.
literally
She's
said that.
Daredevil.
That's true.
So she's Daredevil, but without the agility. So
She's still a decrepit woman.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how they're like, it's 75-year-old woman, and it's this tiny, hunched over lady, blind, and I'm like, it's 75. That's not bad, honestly.
She has bad genes, maybe.
I guess so.
Hard living.
it's hard living in Paradigm City.
I guess so. She did all kinds of terrible things.
That's what she got for drinking a bottle of scotch every day.
Ages you.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ending for the episode. Anything else? Anyone else wants to point out?
That creepy doll.
Oh yeah,
They kept showing it. I thought it was going to be meaningful, but no.
I thought so
No.
too.
They just
How they showed us that 3 times. I'm like, we get it. He fell off the bridge.
But it could have been was that a doll from someone he rescued, or was it a doll from one of the riders who happened to get caught in the crossfire? No, it's just a doll in the
They just
Hudson
don't
or
clean out
whatever
the
it is.
rivers. That's
It's not
what
even
happens.
from the past of a year ago. It's happening in real time. This doll just floating there, and I'm like, we get it. He fell into the water.
It's a creepy doll.
It's a creepy doll. He fell into the water. Let's focus on something else.
Anything else? Anyone want
I
to talk
guess
about
the only
ghost
thing I want to
sign?
say is Dawson actually was nice and let Bonnie meet with his mom before taking
Yeah.
him in.
Oh yeah.
And he said that he was going to give him a fair trial because we kind of skipped over the fact that Bonnie was doing revenge killings essentially on the people that in the military
Yeah.
police or whatever that betrayed him. So that was why he was using the robot.
He was
to
basically
attack
trying to
people.
expose some corrupt military police
Yeah.
head
Behavior.
officers or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dawson was actually, he's like, I will give him a fair trial, and he let him see his mom one last time.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
think Dawson's ever really been mean. He's just a hard
No.
ass.
I just meant
Yeah.
he was actually he's a good guy.
get to see
and
his
that,
softer
proves,
side.
You see that he's like, okay, yeah, I will let him do this one last thing before I take him in.
Yeah. Like one of his dudes tries to go after Bonnie, and he holds him back and is like, nah, we got this.
Sticks out arm, shakes head. No.
No.
No. All right. Let's move on to episode 6, which is
A legacy of Amadeus.
Amadeus.
Every time,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
all
yeah.
I think of, and I don't.
It's
so
because
bad.
Simpsons is ingrained in our culture. That's why.
I just
I
think
did-
of that '90s song or '80s song. Amadeus,
Rock Me Amadeus?
Yeah.
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 It's on almost every Saturday night on the radio as a 80s dance
80s,
tune mix. And I'm
yeah.
just like, why every time?
You
'Cause
should
it's a
change
very
it
popular
to
one.
the
It was a very
Simpsons
popular
version where it's
song
Dr.
there.
Zayas. Yeah. Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
No one plays it on the radio, though.
Anyway,
But yes,
We have the second time showing Dorothy playing the piano, waking up Roger Smith, which
very
I didn't
violently.
I didn't think they'd bring back, so that pleasantly surprised me. It's like, hey, this bit. Yes.
But it plays into
Yes, it does.
the plot here.
Roger, finally being fed up with it, takes her to the Amadeus Pub and Restaurant to meet Instro.
our instro.
Robot Instro. I don't know.
Robo instro.
It's worth noting that he figures that is the better solution than just waking up earlier before noon.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to get my robot some robot piano lessons.
As opposed to just inputting it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, it's not just like, okay, now I'm going to do this. He literally drags Dorothy out. He's like, okay, we're going to go. He drags her out. He zooms to the bar and he's
Yeah.
like, we're going to do this now.
And
We're not going to wait. This is immediate. This is important stuff that has to be done right now.
In the dub, Norman asks, "Oh, I thought you didn't have anything to do today, sir. Like, I have this to do. It's important."
Yeah. You're taking Dorothy with you? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And probably the funniest part, now that I think about that, is that he's dragging Dorothy through the hallway, but if she didn't want to move, she'd just like, stop.
Yeah.
He couldn't move her. So she was just like, I don't know what we're doing, but I guess it's important.
I guess it beats cleaning the house today.
My favorite part out of all of it is just identifying with Roger Smith so much, where he's like, he gets angry. He's like, "What are you doing? It's the crack of dawn." And Dorothy's like, "It's afternoon."
She is so sassy. I love her.
So yeah, and this brings Instro to becoming Dorothy's piano teacher. And even he is like, "I don't know, I'm going to teach her. She's pretty good."
Instro is playing some nice, calm music when they
Yeah.
get to bar, not Dorothy's violent.
Violent concerto.
Well, his idea is he wants like the sincerity and the feeling behind Instro's music to be transferred on Dorothy to learn how to actually like feel the music as opposed to just like banging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause they-
perfectly.
Yeah. When he's playing it, like Dorothy recognizes the music and recognizes how it's supposed to be played, but she's noticing like, oh, he's slowing down bits here and there and speeding up things at other places, and it's not how it's only written as in the sheet music. So,
Yeah. So that's probably what he wants to show her or learn her a thing about.
And then we meet crazy guy G-Sing.
Who looks literally like Mr. Hyde. I'm not going to let that go.
It took me a while to figure out how to spell G-Sing. I was like, how do?
Yeah, I keep thinking like ginseng for him.
Right?
G-string.
Whoa.
Oh, there's nothing in that.
No, I'm
I thought
spit
it
out
was
my drink on
ginseng.
that
I'm
one.
sorry,
I know,
Dennis.
that was ginseng too. I'm like,
Like when it first popped up, it was like ginseng, and I was like, oh wait, there's a GE.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like that for me too, but
But no,
It's music
Caitlin wanted to
things.
go with the G string.
Of course. It's a music episode. I'm a violinist. I have to. If there's another
Tongue the D
connotation,
lightly.
someone's
I'm
welcome
sorry. I
to
think
tell
literally
me.
everybody else in here did not think music when you said
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Not
Well, I can't believe that actually is a thing in this group, and you didn't go for the highbrow joke.
Speaking of other musical terms, tongue the D lightly.
what?
I mean, look, we're talking about a show called The Big O. Okay. If we're really going to get there.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of angry it took us this long to get
Dennis
that
looks
joke
so
out.
We are really
disturbed right
going to go
now.
down this rabbit hole.
It was just too in our face.
How do we recover from this?
We don't.
It was too obvious. It wasn't obvious enough.
We'll just keep going. Anyway,
Sorry, that was my bad.
So G-Sing is trying to ask Instro to
he
I'm sure.
interrupts
Fulfill
the-
his legacy.
the
Oh yeah, he
lesson. He
he
just
interrupts
walks in.
Dorothy's lesson.
Mhm.
He's
That-
like, "Fulfill your destiny," and we all know how that ends up.
Yeah. He leaves. Roger's like, "Who is that?" Back to the lesson. Anyway, let's ignore what just happened. Piano, 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 piano.
Yes, yes.
Well, I thought this was actually one of my favorite bits where Roger tries asking Dostin stuff again, and he gets caught looking in Dostin's file cabinet. Dostin is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Just like,
I'm a negotiator. It's part of my job.
I'm the negotiator.
Irony, what he
negotiating
was looking
with your
for
file
was
cabinet.
right in that cabinet.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Because wait, when was this accident that killed him?
a couple years back.
Yeah,
Like,
because
it
I'm
was-
sure that he has all that current stuff right in his filing cabinet.
Oh, yeah. He's like, let me flip it.
Come
Yeah.
on, negotiator.
So we
Come
find out
on.
Ji-Sing was Amadeus's science partner. Amadeus being the father / creator of Instro. Forgot to mention that.
Oh yes.
And passed away due to an accident with some kind of phonosonic
Sonic
machine
device.
Yeah.
Blew his house in half.
Yeah.
Blew
And
him into more pieces.
Instro gets kidnapped. There's a lot of stuff that happens there. They go to Amadeus's old house / lab.
Well, did he get kidnapped? Because his bow tie is left on the bar.
Yeah, they
Well,
went
I
to
think they assume
went
he
to
got
her
kidnapped.
lessons. And,
Oh, yes.
and the bar was
They assume he got
closed.
kidnapped.
And then when they got inside, there was music everywhere and a giant hole in the wall.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Never
So
mind.
The
I forgot
assumption
that
is,
part.
But later on in Stro, like I feel like the implication is he got reminded or he got told that no, this is your true purpose, not
Yeah.
playing music in a bar.
Oh,
And he
yeah. And
decides
there's
to go along with
a
it.
big hole in his piano, so he really can't play.
Yep.
It's hard to play a piano when half of the strings are missing.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of difficult. We get introduced to Instro's Megaduce Constance, and it is also a giant sound weapon. I felt like this was probably, well, maybe the second weakest of the giant robot fights that we had for this batch of episodes, because technically the previous one wasn't even a real fight either.
Yeah, that was just a,
Although,
bang, bang, you're dead.
I mean, I see what you're saying, weakest in terms of like action, but
And spectacle.
if
it's still
in
a
spectacle. But if
Yeah.
it weren't for Dorothy intervening,
Yeah.
you feel like Roger may have lost this one.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there was some suspense that way, where none of Roger's attacks were able to get through the giant phonosonic sound wall that Constance is putting out.
Yeah. Even the big head beam.
Yeah, which I was like, oh, I guess sound is better than light in this instance. Okay,
Science.
I know. Sound
As
wall.
Eve does
light
the
cannot
alien's
pass.
hand motion science.
Yep. Yep. But Dorothy starts playing the piano, and
Are there speakers plugged into that piano? Because that robot should be much further away.
well, she was playing it out the other half of the house. So
Yeah, there was a giant hole in the wall in that house.
Is that supposed to make for better acoustics to the
yeah,
outdoors?
yeah, it's like a funnel.
Sure.
It's science.
It's a sound. It's a sound robot. It's
I don't
tuned in.
think they were that far from the house because they were still in the forest that were around.
There's still
around
like
the horse,
giant
so.
robot steps away, and he's also playing the. He's not playing. But he's also making the giant phonosonic sound wave
Yeah.
barrier.
It's facing the other way.
There's
I don't
no
know.
way you should have heard the piano.
No.
There should have been some kind of Doppler effect or something. Going
He's
on.
a robot. Super hearing.
No, but the science of the giant robots. It has to make sense to me.
Otherwise, it's bad.
But yeah, Dorothy distracts Instro with the music, and that that gives Roger a chance to be able to take out those. I'm not really sure what they're called. Now I think about it. The weird propeller thingies,
Who
the
knows?
spikes that are on the robot that spin.
Projector
They were tentacles.
Thing.
They were like
They were tentacles.
arms on separate
Spokes.
wing reels. Yeah.
Yeah,
Spinny tentacles.
Whatever.
like a turbine.
It disables Constance.
Yeah. One of the things that Roger shoots off falls down and lands. Well, it hits the ground and then topples over on top of Ji-Sing while he's trying to use his like mini phonosonic sound weapon cane thing.
Yeah.
We find out that's what caused the hole in the bar area.
Yep.
That damaged
And killed
piano.
Amadeus probably.
And man, it ends. Well, at least how the fight ends is not great for Instro.
Yeah, Instro like decides to tear himself out of Constance,
Yep.
which means leaving his hands behind. Apparently,
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Like, couldn't you have just gotten out? Do you have to do it that way?
I mean, I wonder, now that I'm thinking about it again, like, if Jiseng took his hands off and, like, bolted him into the thing. And then he was
Yeah,
like,
it
I don't know where my
didn't
hands
look
are
like-
anymore.
It didn't look like he could get out. He was a
Yeah.
permanent fixture in the robot.
Yeah, he was pretty much like, it looked like he was fused in from the waist down and from the mid-arm down.
although he only tore off his hands,
Yeah.
you don't actually see him get out. But later on, the rest of him looks fine.
Yeah.
He gets fixed. Do you guys think Norman fixed him? Or does Roger know a bunch of android peoples?
Who
Android
knows?
repairer
I mean, there's
systems?
so many androids and so much of that going on that I would be surprised if Norman doesn't know some of that. Norman knows everything. Norman is Norman.
He's very good and very skilled.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, he is back to practicing the piano now, since he doesn't have his, I guess, fine-tuned hands that
Yeah.
are meant for the piano.
Yeah, the
Like, he has
hands
to
that
work
were
with these
designed
newer
by
hands.
Amadeus were
Yeah.
gone. So
It was also heavily implied that he has the memories of like Amadeus's like actual son,
Yeah.
and that's why he was so good at piano, but or loved it so much, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what caused the dysphoria between like, this is what I was made for, but I really like doing this, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now.
Yeah.
So
Then we end it with Dorothy playing her violin piece again, waking Roger up. Like, see, I told you it would work.
Because Roger slept in with the
Yeah,
choir.
he slept until 1.
well, yeah, she started with the nice one, and
At
Roger was
noon?
like,
Well, that
"Wow,
was
this is a really
at
nice.
noon.
This
That was
is a
technically
really nice
Instro
morning."
playing on the piano, though.
Oh, was it?
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? I thought it was her.
No, it was Instro, and she,
Oh,
was,
yeah, I
she
guess-
was doing like the conductor counting metronome timing
Oh,
while
okay.
he was
But yes,
playing,
he was woken up nicely,
but stayed
but then,
in bed.
But then he stayed in bed for an hour, and Dorothy was like, "Screw this! You're not gonna stay in bed any longer."
So
Guess what?
it is Roger's fault again.
Yeah.
In other words,
Yes.
Any
Yes.
other scenes that people want to call out?
I
I have-
guess not.
I have
It's
one.
just-
How did Dorothy get to the Big O so fast up that
I don't
elevator?
know.
Are you sure you want to go down this route? You wanna
There's
rephrase
a
that
hidden
question?
elevator in
How
his foot.
did How did Dorothy get to the giant
Up the
robot super
elevator,
quickly?
not down the elevator.
And-
I mean, Dorothy can jump out of a window and be totally fine. So
I know she
Well,
does.
so
run
can Roger
fast.
though. So I think windows are just weaker in the dome in Paradigm City.
But Dorothy could also run fast, yes. But I'm like,
yeah,
they seemed kind of far. She got there very quickly.
yeah. Maybe she jumped real far.
Maybe. I also thought that when she was holding Instro's bow tie with her hands, I'm like, do her hands extend? She looked like she wanted to put the bow tie onto Instro from there. But no.
That would be a little creepy.
And then it's just like silent as she puts it on and
So I
right
kind of want to
back.
hop in.
Oh, we have a Kate.
Yeah.
Not just as our studio audience, yay.
Yeah, I know. I've been like listening in the corner, but I wanted to jump in because I thought this episode was really trying to push this idea of like children fulfilling this purpose that they think their parents have set for them. Because Instro's love of piano seems to be tied to this is what his father wanted him to do, and then he agrees to like pilot this giant robot and become a weapon because some random guy was like, "Yeah, that your father made this." And you fit in it,
this.
so this is your purpose. And he's like, "Oh, I guess this is
Guess
my purpose."
what?
But I don't know. Like, I feel like it's such a strange idea for me to imagine that kids, their whole lives are based around some goal that their parents have for them, and that they have no will of their own to try to have their own goals.
Oh man,
I mean,
I could talk a
parts
lot
of the-
about that.
Parts of, I was
Not
like,
from
parts
a
of the
personal
world
perspective.
are still like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know someone, and I will not use names to protect the innocent. And I will try to come up with other careers to protect the innocent. But someone I know, her mom really wanted her to become a physicist. And she has zero interest in being a physicist. And on one occasion, her mom was like, when she said, I'm going to go and do this other thing, I'm going to go become a high school counselor, she said, you're ruining the plan I had for your life. Literally.
Like,
those words came out of her mouth.
What an overreach, Like, I can't even
but it
fathom that.
exists.
Yeah,
like the
where it's just
beauty
like you think that it's
moms.
your right to control someone else's life and to plan it out for them.
Yeah, definitely. And there are parents who exist like that. Fortunately, I don't think any of us experience that.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, parents want to have a good, they want their children to have good lives.
Yeah.
And then maybe they think that if they do all this planning and plan out what that whole life should look like, then their kids will be happy and everything will be great.
100%.
But I don't know, man, trying to get into that level of detail with another individual human being who has their own thoughts and
it will make
desires.
you crazy. And believe me, this person's mother is.
Yeah. So I'm it's interesting because Instro is a robot, but he has, some kind of emotional ties to the actual son of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
who
Because
he calls his
Roger
dad.
even says, you were made to be so much more human than a regular robot.
So it's weird because all the evidence points to Instro being more than just designed to be the key to a weapon.
Yeah.
But he's not willing to accept that. He's so willing to be oh, I'm supposed to be in this weapon. Okay, this is my goal. This is my purpose.
Part of me wonders if he was clearly he has the fingers designed to be a pianist. Part of me wonders if he became this key to this Megadeus as kind of a rage reaction. His dad was I'm gonna build this thing because Paradigm City cut off our funding, and
I guess I don't know.
My son will pilot it.
I think they said Amadeus actually died before the funding was cut off. So it's
Amadeus died and then the funding was cut off.
the other guy must have built it.
Yeah, I bet the other guy, maybe if they had started building a robot and that was what the funding was for, and then the funding got cut off after his death because Paradigm City was oh, this genius died. I guess this project is a loss. No one's going to be able to finish this up. And then his partner was screw you guys. I'm going to finish it up myself. And then really wreak havoc.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's part of one of the reasons why I like Big O's. You can run around with all of these, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, because it's kind of
there's
fast
all
and
this
loose
stuff
with the
that's,
framework.
It's all implied, and then all the use of the word memories to mean so much more than actual memories. It makes things kind of vague, and then you can make your own kind of ideas about what that actually means.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll go back to my corner now.
But that was a good thing to come out of your corner for.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kate.
I think.
Thank you, Corner Kate.
And Caitlin's friend, Falerna. There we go.
Falernia.
I think the episode also is supposed to sort of be an indication of how Roger's treatment towards androids is also changing.
Oh, yeah.
Because you start the show and he's just Dorothy is not worth being super friendly with and treating as a human exactly. I mean, he treated her fine, but he looked down on her a little bit. And so now we're getting more, I mean, as the episodes keep going, he gets more he likes Instro and he treats him as a friend and he respects his playing. And he was upset when Instro was well, I got to be the pilot to this robot. And he's no, you are meant to play music. That's what you do. And so it's a start of seeing how Roger's mentality towards non-humans is changing and evolving towards realizing that they might also have feelings and souls and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, and one more thing too. Successful negotiation.
Yes. Yes.
Negotiated Instro to stop what he's doing and then go back to being Dorothy's piano instructor.
Did we get that in instruction or in negotiation success at the end? Because that's what at the end of each episode it's we've come to terms or whatever. Did he get the successful?
I think it said we have come to terms.
We've come to terms.
I think so.
God, we have come to terms and no side.
Yeah. All right. Episode 7.
The Call from the Past.
This was a fucking bonkers episode.
It's weird.
It started in one place, and we had flashbacks going back and forth, and just the non-standard continuity kind of messed with. I'm like, what's going on again? This was a hard one for me to follow. I still don't think I followed it all that great. The gist of it is Roger meets up with Angel, gets trapped in an underwater building, and then fights a mecha at the end.
So Bioshock.
I know, right?
They do purposely leave a lot of details vague. Like, Angel is chasing after some cache of memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For cash as well.
For
Cash for cash.
For cash. Memories for money.
Yep. At least that's what she says.
That would be a terrible jingle. Memories for money.
Oops.
Meanwhile, Roger's there to find out why prices for fish are high.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he gonna? They were like, are you gonna negotiate with the sea or something?
No, he's like, do you even negotiate the price of fish?
Do you even negotiate, bro?
Yeah, do you even negotiate, bro? I am the only negotiator, bro. Yeah.
Well,
No, 'cause-
it's kind of weird because, like, yeah, he asks the fishermen, like, do you guys set the prices? They're like, no, we don't actually set the prices of the fishes. That's determined by somebody else. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? None of the fishermen want to actually go out and catch the fish. They're afraid of going out and disturbing, again, a sea god.
Yeah,
of some
or
kind,
a
so.
titan. In the dub, they call them the Titans of the Sea, and in the subtitles, at least, we have them as the sea gods.
Yeah.
Which sea gods makes more sense because that's more of a fisherman lore type thing.
Yeah.
In that wasn't there a similar thing in the Electric
Yeah,
City?
that's why,
Yeah.
that's
where
why I was like,
they were
again,
calling
yeah.
them gods.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yep. Fisherman man.
Creepy,
Superstitious
creepy,
lot.
eye glowy, mouth glowy.
Yeah, frogmen
Being
crawling over the dock and then jumping into the water.
I don't know why they gave them that like blood curdling scream when they turned to face the camera. There's just I'm not even going to repeat it because I can't do it. But it was just weird.
Was that when Roger saw them, or was it like
No.
when
That
they
was
were being
the-
recounted?
was
Yeah,
when
they're
they
being
were
recounted.
yeah.
Okay, so could have been some flavor text by that crazy boatman.
I guess so, but yeah, it just was like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I mean,
Because they considered them to be extraterrestrial or godlike, so they wouldn't make it normal
yeah.
human
That's how they
sound.
call these things because they clearly look like bad Scooby-Doo villains.
They
Yeah.
really do.
They're like scuba gear people. And
Yeah.
like
yeah.
a weird.
Literally,
glowy mask
when they
thing.
walk, they sound like they're walking in fins.
Right?
And then we didn't really find out who those dudes were.
No, we didn't. Like Roger, finds out who they are and tries to follow them, and then isn't able to get there in time. But we do see them again later in the episode, and we see like actual people underneath the mask, and not just some giant behind the mask LED light showing like a glowing mouth and eyes type thing.
Yeah. Although, frankly, because I'd forgotten that this episode existed, because when Roger's trying to find more information out, and he goes to crazy underwater dirigible man.
Yeah, he builds a ship that can go underwater.
Yes.
With thanks to
Otherwise
his
known as a
memories.
submarine, Caitlin. Dirigible. Anyway.
Well, they never outright say it's a submarine.
Yeah.
Because apparently no one knows what the fuck a submarine is.
they don't know what subway is there either.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Kate commented away from a microphone. Did you know that Shakespeare invented the word submarine? No, I did not.
I did not know
That's
that.
surprising. I would have thought it'd be like Da Vinci or something,
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
he imagine them being yellow?
Nah.
And able to
They
have a
didn't
bunch
have-
of people live in them?
They didn't have LSD back then.
Anyway, yeah. So crazy submarine man, when Roger first rolls up trying to find information out, the guy's like, I told you, I don't want any insurance. And I'm like, are these crooked insurance salesmen who are trying to scare everybody into buying insurance?
Well, maybe he should be getting insurance after what
Oh,
Roger
shit.
did.
I didn't even think about that.
Is there fish insurance for the sea or something? I don't know.
For the boats.
I mean,
Yes, for the boat there definitely needs to be, and submarines too.
I mean, it was said in the I guess Angel said that these frogmen were trying to get the memories out of the cache, so that's probably reason enough.
By the way, Angel's in this episode.
Yes. By the way, Angel's in this episode, but
in a weird backwards, sort of running forward backwards episode.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
there, but then you find out why they're there.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. They open trapped in this area after they have crashed Submarine Man's.
Well, yeah,
Submarine
Roger
should have bought
finally
insurance.
convinces this strange man that he wants to rent his quote unquote submarine that he has. And so he shows up and he's like, "What? I rented it. Why is it gone?" And he's like, "Well, she just took it." And you look over in the side and like the submarine's going off. Angel's like, "Thank you." Wave.
How did
Roger's
she know how
like,
to
"I'm
operate
gonna
this thing?"
run
And
jump into it.
We need to say one more thing before we go there. Roger's costume.
Oh, yeah. So when he comes in and the guy's like, "I don't want to buy insurance," Roger clearly has a moment where he looks at his jacket like, this is not working.
Yeah, time to change out of the suit into something a little more casual. And we see him open his closet and he pulls out this brown jacket, which is like the only thing that's in there
Only not black object.
that's not black or charcoal gray. And he looks like fucking Terry McGuiness from Batman Beyond.
There's like a moment it pauses and you're just like,
Wait, a
that look.
There's a bunch of the scenes where he's underwater in the darkness and like, you know, spread out on the couch or whatever with his like foot and, you know, get your shoes off the couch, Roger, whatever. But I'm just like, Roger looks very Schway.
He looks so Schway.
This episode.
Well, his hair is like getting a little loose.
There's yeah, it's not perfectly slicked back. There's
Yeah.
like bangs and stuff. I'm just like, it's pulling the Terry. And we all looked it up too. That Batman Beyond came out in January of 1990, and Big O was in October of 1999.
Yeah, I was like,
Not-
what?
yeah, wait a minute, 1999, and then Big O came out the first episode in October of 1999. So they could have gotten a little bit of design inspiration
Yeah.
for this.
It is sort of anime Batman, so you know,
Yep.
And it's kind of futurist, so why not also
yeah.
get inspired by future Batman?
Yeah.
I mean, Batman Beyond, it has a lot of angles in it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the style
Yeah.
is
And the
very
style is very
similar.
simplistic too.
But yeah, I don't know why Angel decides to take off her pink dress either. Just like
It's hot.
Well,
hot
I mean,
underwater?
It's hot
a
underwater.
weird- I mean, there's probably no airflow at all in there because they
That's
were
true.
talking about how
Oh, it's probably,
they
like,
would
super
probably
humid.
die of air loss before they starved to death. So
yeah.
but
It's probably really humid.
Like it's weird fan service, but it's to show that she has 2 scars on her shoulder blades that
Yeah.
Roger takes notice of, and he's like, "Oh, Angel, I get it." So
Wow.
Her.
it's a thing that is important
Yeah.
okay. And
to be vague.
that's fine.
I mean,
This-
and for a fan servicey moment, like nothing really comes of it.
Yeah, it
No.
was
which
pretty-
I do appreciate.
Yes,
But
and Roger didn't like super react. I mean, he kind of was like, "Okay, she just took off her clothes," but
he was kind of reacting, but not in the typical way you would think of,
Yeah.
especially in anime.
she does
Yeah.
call him a louse in that scene.
Yes,
though.
yes, he does. I think this is the only
Yeah.
the only episode in this batch that we watched where he gets called the louse. So
yeah.
recurring trend, yay.
And it's
Man.
after he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
and that line too. Men.
we might die, and you're not falling into my arms, begging me to rescue you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, fuck you."
That deserves to make him be called the louse, especially
Yes.
for that
Yes.
comment.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I hear that a lot."
Like, I literally just heard it just
Get
now.
a clue.
So we see the fishmen, scuba men guys. 'Cause they're-
Frog dudes.
Yeah.
Scuba guys.
We see the scuba guys. They're the ones who actually caused them to crash their ship because they planted a bunch of, not only C4, but a bunch of charges on the ship to explode.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Although that's a funny picture, though. You see the submarine and then a whole bunch of green scuba men
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
climb
like,
on it.
That
You're like,
happened
"Whoa."
quickly.
I wonder how quick, like, how do they not see them while doing this? And then B, how fast can those guys swim?
Well, they
in
were
order to
also
catch
not
up?
really paying attention while they were
That's
driving.
true. They're kind of bickering the whole
Yeah.
time. The frog fishermen end up going towards this, like, light. I don't know the better way to describe it. There's like
Yeah.
a cave with a light that's inside, and boom, out comes a giant monster. Or a giant robot, excuse me.
Oops.
Though it looks like the big brown Muppet
Snookums.
Snookums. Thank you.
Dennis looked at me and I was like, let me provide that
me.
name again.
Yep.
Thank you.
But then all the schnookums falls off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
no more
he's
fur.
like,
I'm like,
happy
It's like
grinny
kelp.
man.
Yeah, it's like kelp or brown kelp.
I was gonna say,
or
I'm
something.
like, is it seaweed? Is he covered in seaweed?
Yeah, it's some kind of sea floor plant that's covered
Mm-hmm.
him because he's probably been down there forever and was woken up by the.
Yeah. Roger
guy.
says, the owner of the memories is woken up.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts knocking the buildings around.
Yeah, and the building that they're
Underwater.
in is getting worse for wear now too. And
Oh.
Roger this whole time has been not calling the big O out there, but it has been getting ready.
Yes.
Because I totally forgot. We see Norman like hurrying back and forth in between all these different vignettes. I'm like, what the hell is Norman doing?
Turns out he was gearing up for a great underwater rescue.
Yes.
And then Dorothy's like, I really don't need to breathe, so I think the clear choice is me.
Poor Norman.
He was
He put on that-
sad face. He was very
He put
sad
on that
face.
snorkel for nothing.
Yeah.
I think Norman
Galoshes.
was really excited to finally be in Big O for once. And it's like, oh, her logic actually makes sense. Boo.
Boo.
But I wanted to be a mech pilot.
I wanted to ride in the Big O.
Yeah, Roger tries not. He doesn't want to call Big O because even Angel's like, "Oh, we're trapped here," and Roger looks at his watch and he's like, "Yeah, we're trapped here."
Oh, we
Right.
can't get out, can we? Oh,
So
no.
then when the big robot starts attacking and knocking the building over, he's like, "Big O."
he whispers to his watch sweetly.
Showtime.
But get here so that Angel doesn't know that it's me.
She's not paying attention. She's like, "Oh, I got to get out of here." And then suddenly Roger's like, "Let me throw a chair at the glass
Yeah.
wall. That's the glass window."
That surprises even Angel. She's like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, God, water.
Yeah, basically.
But at least the Big O is right
And-
there.
Yeah, and then the Big O's right there. So I really feel like she already knows that he's...
Well, yeah, she does go. She does call it Roger. when
Yeah, she looks
gets
up and
deposited
Roger.
back on the.
Because let's be real, who throws a chair and lets in all this water if they don't know that something's coming to pick them up? It's like, well, this didn't work out. Time to die.
Also, we didn't actually see Angel get rescued
Yeah, that too.
until all of a sudden, oh, bloop, there she is on the pier. Like outside, like what was it? Some compartment in
In the hand, so
In
hand?
the hand,
Out of
yeah.
the finger, yeah. She just like rolls out of Big O's finger, and I'm like, okay, Big O has finger compartments.
And Roger expected Norman inside of Big O also, which was kind of funny. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's where you go." Dorothy, why are you here?
Because I don't have to breathe, dude.
And she does that weird thing where she like jumps out of the seat to sit somewhere on the side. I'm like,
Yeah.
how high is that room for Roger to be in? I don't know.
Well, I mean, he is in like the command pod is like in Big O's like neck plate area.
Yeah.
So maybe that whole head area is just open.
Maybe.
I mean, I
think
think
there
you
would be
kind
more
of see when he
reinforcement
opens it up to talk to Instro, and so you can kind of see there is some space.
Yeah.
It's not like a tiny closed pod.
Not like
it's
a,
like a big
Gundam pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not like a
that's
Gundam
what I was
pod.
thinking of. It's not like a Gundam pod where you're like crammed into the
Yeah, it's like a G Gundam pod.
Wow.
You laugh because I'm right.
Yeah. And then Big O takes out this Mega Deuce though. Angel was very, very unhappy.
Oh, God.
No, I wanted those memories.
I love the
Bastard.
part where she's like, "Don't hit the head. That's where the memories are," and he immediately punches it in the head.
Isn't it?
It's like,
Idiot.
you dick.
It's weird light up grin.
Yeah, right in the light up grin.
Don't even know if there was a pilot in there or not, but if there was,
Not anymore.
There's not anymore.
any other comments about this episode before we move on?
Let Norman pilot Big O 20.
I was kind of mad that like after Dorothy spent all that time cleaning and polishing the floor, in comes Norman with like muddy galoshes or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Dorothy's deadpan was pretty awesome in that one, though. I mean, she's always deadpan, but the angle on the shot of her just like looking at him like, "Are you fucking serious, bro?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was very good. Kate will have to repeat that into the microphone because no one can hear what she said.
Well, I'm hoping that someone else will repeat it. But I was saying it's like, on The Office when they slowly turn towards the camera.
All right.
Pull a Jim.
Let's move on to episode number 8.
Missing cat.
This is an adorable episode, you guys.
Bring on the show
That's
Tucker
cute. Also a little
memes.
creepy in many ways.
It was also creepy. This was very Island of Dr. Moreau-ish
Yes.
in a sense. We start off with a horrific murder scene. Like, Jesus, it's a lot of blood. And so much that I kept asking everyone, like, did this actually air on Cartoon Network? Because this has more blood in it than I think any other episode I have seen in Big O.
I think that it was on Toonami, but I don't remember them being shot. So they might have not shown them being shot. And it's just like, whoops, they're dead.
And don't forget, like Toonami would just, paint in the red blood, the skin tone color. So whatever blood that was there was probably just edited out.
Yeah.
Like when Jim is looking at his hand and
exactly.
Empty. Tragedy.
non-holding Gene Starwin's blood hand.
What is this? I don't know, Jim. What are you looking at? There's nothing there.
But yeah. Dorothy finds a little kitty, which is adorable, names her Pero.
In the rain.
Yeah.
In the rain.
Yep.
And we see shenanigans with the kitty, and it's all cute. First, the cat wrecks Roger's desk.
Well, Roger's like, Dorothy! He like raises his voice.
like,
Like the
Dorothy,
first time
right.
ever.
Oh, she got full named. It's
Yep.
bad.
When full name happens, someone's in trouble.
Yep.
Well, I just like how Norman was like, no, sir, I know the desk is off limits. I do not touch the desk. It was not me. I am so horrified for you, sir, that this happened.
Maybe it was
Very
Pero.
deadpan.
Like, who
Maybe it was
Pero?
the cat that we have recently acquired. Did you
Roger's
know
like-
about the cat?
Roger's
Shows how
like,
much
"What?"
it shows how much Roger pays attention to.
Yeah, right. To literally everything that's happening in his house.
But yeah, we see Dorothy bonding with Pero. I don't know if Norman is a seamster or if it's Dorothy, but the cat gets a cute, adorable suit. Like
Oh,
a tiny
right.
little butler suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, because if he's going to stay
Adorable.
there, he has to wear black.
Yes.
Yep.
Dorothy even commented.
Oh, yeah.
If the cat was black, would he be able to stay?
Yeah.
Because it's a gray cat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I guess that's why he ends up.
And Roger's
I didn't
like,
put that
well,
together.
that's not the point.
Yeah.
The cat actually has a collar with a tag on it, so there's an owner out there
Yeah.
that's looking for the cat.
Yeah. She's
Cat-
just
So let
like,
me negotiate.
negotiate.
With this cat.
I want the cat. Negotiate.
You find out that cats and other animals are very rare.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
almost
world,
Blade
so
Runner
very
style.
Valuable.
Where, like, domesticated animals are not really a thing. In Paradigm City, at least. I don't know if they're a thing outside the city, but cats and dogs are very hard to come by. Because we know that in the very beginning of the episode where that murder scene was, commented that the owner, or the one who got killed, had a dog. Like a golden retriever, I think.
Yeah.
But there was a floating monster in that pool instead. Dead monster.
That they poked.
Many
with a stick.
times. The stick. That had golden retriever fur.
Not terrifying at all.
Well, we meet the cat's owners, who don't really get named until 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
For reasons that we'll get to. But these owners are very adamant that they get their cat back. And one of the lady owner even says, basically refers to the cat as kind of like their child. Like, if you found a child out on the street, would you still keep it knowing that the parents are out there looking for it? So they're really good at negotiating, you guys.
Even
They're
better.
really good at negotiating. So much so that Roger Smith is like, oh, you guys are good.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So much for that master
Yeah,
I
negotiation.
right?
mean, it's kind of like a no-win situation for him anyways, because honestly, like, Dorothy's like, I want this cat. And Roger's like, it actually belongs to somebody else.
Yeah.
Unless they're like, yeah, sure, you can have a cat. You can't really do anything about it. So he's kind of like, well, I tried, Dorothy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. But before she can give the cat back, third party comes in wanting the cat.
Yes.
Some guy in like this weird hovercraft has like this giant grappling hook that grabs Dorothy and the cats, and we hear the names of the owners. Let's see where I wrote
It was
them
like
down.
Robert and
There's Robert and Louise.
Yeah.
Are the owners.
Fairy.
Also, I like how this is the moment where it goes from like, oh, the touching family episode where Dorothy gets a cat and learns how to be a responsible, citizen by returning it to its owners. And instead it's like, oh no, hovercraft comes in and starts like shooting up the whole rooftop.
Yeah, Robert
Like,
gets
blood everywhere.
Robert gets fucking wrecked right away. And then Louise also gets wrecked too, but she's calling out for the cat's name, which is Roy, not Perro, which is also kind of a strange name for a cat.
Well, they explained why.
Yeah,
she's-
yeah, they do. It turns out that it's Eugene Grant is the one behind the killings, and he is known as the Alchemist, at least according to the informant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when Roger's like, I don't want to mess around. I just want.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
'cause
he just slams the money, not even low key, just like, tell me information now.
Yeah.
Dorothy
Nope.
got kidnapped. I am not playing around.
No more niceties.
Yeah. We almost bypassed Norman getting his moment of glory.
Oh yeah,
Oh, right.
real good.
He's
That
like,
was a real big
step
gun.
back, please.
Yeah, they're getting
Gatling
shot
gun.
at. And
Pardon me, madam.
Robert gets killed, and the wife's like, "Oh no!" And so he's like, "Excuse me, let me pull out my giant gun and shoot at the hovercraft."
Yep.
It's one of those Rambo style Gatling guns with a
Yeah.
chain of ammo off the end. Just do.
Yep.
I feel like Norman
It's
was a
literally-
former member of the Kingsmen or something. 'Cause, seriously.
Headcanon accepted.
So they find out where Eugene's base is, and Angel tags along, which I was like, oh, we just had an episode with Angel.
Yep.
Do they come in pairs? Is that how this works?
Potentially.
Because it was like that last time, too, I believe. So
I don't
Angel.
remember why she was there.
Memories.
They were talking about memories, paradigm, all that stuff,
Yeah.
because they commented about how Eugene was
Oh,
working
yeah.
with paradigm in terms of, I guess, like gene manipulation, trying
Yeah,
to, I
that's
guess,
right.
resurrect animals.
Well, it was putting. He was putting like human souls into animals.
Yeah, he
That's
was
what he was
basically
doing.
using human genes to
Yeah.
create domesticated animals,
Yeah.
like a new crop of domesticated animals.
And that was why the woman was calling the cat Roy, is because Roy was their child,
yeah.
and the child's soul or genes or whatever got put into the cat.
Yeah.
So
He
like
was
an
used
episode
as raw materials to create a cat.
Yes.
Now, did FMA creators use this episode
God.
as inspiration?
I was hoping we wouldn't get to that, but we are. Fuck.
Bring on the show Tucker
I mean, it did
memes.
come out before, right?
It totally did come out before.
Yep.
I don't know when the Full Metal Alchemist manga actually came out, but
Not before.
yeah, I hope not. But anyway, ooh, that was rough. But
but it's a cat this time, so it's totally different.
Yeah, it's a real cat. It's not a cat-human hybrid chimera. Oh, wait, that comes later.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
So I wrote it down when I was taking notes that, like, you know, as they're trying to cross the lab and try to get to Eugene and rescue Dorothy.
The super crazy lab that has all of these giant open spaces and tiny bridges that they have to cross.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very
Which I
weird.
think even Angel or Rod, one of them is like, this is a weird lab.
Yeah. Roger gets to use a gun for the first time.
Yes. It doesn't
At
kill
least in the
anybody.
show. The first time in the show. He's pretty adept with it because he doesn't kill anyone with them, but he shoots the pipes, causes steam to break.
Yep. He's very Batman.
I don't use guns.
Oh, right.
Except in this one time. I'll use this gun, but not to kill people.
To shoot steam vents. To burn people.
And then he knocks them out with the butt of the gun.
But yeah, I wrote down like this monster thing looks almost like a dragon-ish in a way. It's like this weird water dragon with tentacles, and then it breaks out of the building and looks like it has wolf legs instead, with a giant, like, Gurren Lagann style mouth in its torso that it
Or
can also bite
like
out
a
down
gluttony,
things.
like a gluttony mouth.
Yeah. And this this chimera turns out to be an actual, like, composite reject pile of Eugene's experiments.
Yeah.
So it turns out
Because
that
he has like he shows Dorothy his collection that he's like,
Yeah.
I am God. I've created all of these animals, which they're all in like water tubes or whatever. So it's like, is he doing anything with these animals, or are they just all gonna float in this?
yeah.
Although there's like, he said there's like humans spliced in, so they're all human animals essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, actual cats for one thing. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, was it not supposed to be a real cat? Or was it supposed to be some type
Well,
of...
was the cat already had human spliced into it from the sun, so I
Yeah.
would assume that
Well, I just
he
mean-
he didn't consider that a creation that he approved of, I guess, so he just threw it into the
Okay.
chimera, because his creations did not look like normal animals. They
Yeah.
looked like monsters. So
Very much so. Like, I was actually confused by the episode because I thought, like, the chimera was the cat with, you know, extra injections or whatever, you know, like a
That was really
bad
fast, 'cause it
superhero
loaded it
super
up.
soldier serum
really,
cocktail.
really fast growth there.
Yeah. But no, it turns out that, like, the cat somehow got spliced into this
Yeah.
chimera beast, and because it was the most recent addition, I guess the memories for that were a lot stronger because Dorothy was able to kind of, not really control it, but kind of cause it to remember her.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it also, because it also had human spliced in it also, so that might have
Yeah.
prioritized the human remnants over the rest of the body, I guess. I don't know.
And yeah, and then Eugene gets killed. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
The end.
Bye-bye. No more cat.
Bye. Yeah. He just gets squished.
So we do have a couple of, like, kind of like softer moments with Dorothy and the cat. She recalls a song that she is humming and doesn't know what the song is or where it came from.
The ending
And-
theme song.
Basically.
Yeah. And when she is kind of humming it again, she kind of asks Roger about where this memory came from, and he's like, it's just yours. It's just your memory. Make this one your memory, at least. So it was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, all I want to do is just talk more about this cat suit. I wish we saw more of it. I want
Right?
to see a cat in a butler-style suit. Did it have tails? I don't know. We don't see it enough.
3 tails.
Uh,
Because a cat has
how do you
has
even
one
put a cat
tail.
in a costume like that? That seems like it would be very difficult. I've seen some cat like Halloween costumes and stuff posted on social media, and they
mean-
all look like they want to, like, scratch that
I
whole
mean,
thing
if you
off.
have a calm enough cat that tolerates
Well, this cat was
Anything.
originally
So-
a boy.
That too.
So he's probably like, fuck yeah, I look dapper as fuck. And cute. Everybody loves cats in suits.
Yeah, I think I wrote down cat suit and I had to write down no, cat in suit, not cat suit.
Yeah, it's like, where was the cat suit?
That is a different connotation.
I thought Angel was wearing a jacket in this.
Yeah, she was dressed differently. Her hair was like slicked to the side, and she looked like I want to say like one of those like yacht club women that walk around
With the fluffy
playing tennis
She
or
actually-
whatever.
bomber
She actually
jacket,
reminded me of like
high-waisted
an
pants.
equestrian rider
Yeah.
with her khaki pants
Yeah.
and
Yep,
tall
yep.
boots. Any other comments about this episode?
I guess more of Roger, like you see how much Roger is attached to Dorothy now. Because
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
very upset when she got kidnapped. And he was like, I'm going to take care of this. And even I think Norman came up to him and he's like, I'm going to save Dorothy. I'm going to get her.
Yeah.
So
There was also comments too that he made of him noticing Dorothy's change as well.
Yeah.
Like the short time that she was there, noticing that like Dorothy is, yes, still the same dour look on her face, but she is getting in touch with her emotions. Doesn't know if being with this cat has triggered any memories of her own either.
Oh yeah,
So
of the daughter that she was modeled after.
yeah, it was nice. All right, last episode on this disc for us, episode 9.
Beck comes back.
Yeah.
What could this be about?
No idea.
This episode, we have the return of Beck. The end. No.
and
There's
that's
a little more to
all
it.
it was. So, yep.
Everybody's like, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened.
Well, we get to a whole thing with Roger gets called in to do like actual phone negotiation, which I don't think we've had him do for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
this-
actually a hostage negotiator in this. Not just somebody who's like,
Yeah.
well, can I just buy the cat off of you?
we have someone named Mr. Wise who calls him in because his son of 40 years old named Francis has been kidnapped. And yeah, we see Roger like weirdly take charge without any type of input from Mr. Weiss, and that pisses him off a lot without Roger getting to explain. He gets fired for the negotiation job pretty much within the first hour
Yep.
of being on the clock. So like you're
Then
done.
Dorothy's like, are you sure you're okay with that? It's like he'll call me back in like an hour.
We see something that I didn't think I'd see. Roger painting. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh god,
Oh god, so bad.
it looks like that terrible fresco that
That Jesus fresco? Yeah, it does. This is like a Dorothy fresco in a way. It's very creepy.
Yep.
I think I wrote down like his painting is unique.
Yes.
That's one way to put it.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of cool in a modern way, I guess, but Dorothy looks at it and is clearly not impressed and spends the rest of the episode
see her in the back
looking at the
it.
other painting,
Yeah.
being like, why can't he draw me
She
like
looks at
this?
other paintings, and then when they're back at Roger's place, she looks at that's where you see her most of the time is
Yeah.
overlooking at that painting. Like,
I think Roger's bad at this.
Yeah. She does a very, very cute pose, and Roger even comments on like, I think out of any painting subject out there, you'd be able to hold this pose the longest without moving. So
Yes.
Yeah.
you'd actually be great at being an artist model. So, yeah.
Yep. But with results like that, why would she continue to do it?
She just needs to find a better painter. That's all. Let's see. Mr. Wise does call him back.
Call him back. Norman brings the phone on a tray over to Roger.
Yep. I love
Such
that.
service.
I
So-
love that.
He is back on the job, trying to help with the negotiations.
Oh yes, and by the way, when they talked the first time, the negotiator, you can tell he has his nose plugged and he just talks.
The kidnapper.
Kidnapper
Kidnapper.
does.
Yep.
And this time the kidnapper calls back because now they want to ask for more money, which Roger was trying to warn Mr. Weiss about. Like, you need to haggle, because if you just pay up right away, like instant quick, they're like, oh, we can sucker this guy for some more money. Which they are definitely doing, because they raised the price of the ransom from $2 million, didn't get him back, to now $3 million. So they want one more drop off. But in this case, it is Roger that has to do the drop off instead.
Because the kidnapper's like, wait, is that Roger Smith?
No, I guess he was like, "Is this the negotiator?
Is this the
Put
negotiator?
the other guy on the
The other
phone."
guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, bad plan, bad plan."
Even he was like, the negotiator, your voice sounds familiar.
Yep.
So we do have, before this, Dawson does come to warn Roger that Beck did break out. Roger's
Yeah.
like, who's Beck?
Who?
Snap.
Who? That guy?
Oh, that
Also,
guy.
where's that whiskey that I wanted to drink with you?
Oh, we drank that the other day. Oh,
Oh, shit.
Dang it! Came all the way here. What, you
Should've
think I
put a
came
note
here
on
to
it.
like warn you about something? No, I want to just drink out of your cabinet.
Have you seen my salary? I don't make that much to afford this good stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Military police.
So Beck is either working for or the kidnaps are working for Beck. I'm not really certain.
I think that he is.
No, he is the
He is the
kidnapper.
kidnapper.
Okay, because it seemed like this kidnapping thing happened before he was broken out of prison.
No, I think
No,
he was
because the
broken
episode
out.
opens with him breaking out.
Yeah. Well,
And then
or
we
of
see that the
him
kidnapping had
sitting in his
happened.
cell, and there's a Megaduce kicking the shit out of the prison. He's like, "Man, could have done this a little better."
They had the flunkies at least doing the negotiation for the first call for the kidnapping that we see at least.
Oh, I thought it was just Beck
no,
with his nose
the first
plugged.
call was Beck.
I thought it was.
Because he had his nose like
I
this.
thought it was the other guy. All right. Can be wrong.
If full Dennis.
Wow.
It didn't sound like Gene Starlin.
well, we
in
did.
English,
Yes,
so-
we did actually watch this one in English, so that might be what's throwing some of us off at the voices and stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
So Roger goes. He's set up because it looks like they shoot Francis, but I don't think they kill him. Right? He just
no,
gets
he's
shot.
No, he
not,
just
he's
gets
not
shot.
Dead.
Yeah.
Well, he's either shot or they set off a shot and made Roger run into the building.
Yeah.
And Francis is like knocked over, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Ugh." And I'm like, "Okay, you're fine."
Okay, you're cool.
And then spotlights flash on the windows, and Dawson's like, "Come out, Roger Smith.
We know it's you.
We know it's you."
Jump out a window.
I mean,
into their mobile car. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
I will say though, come on, Dawson. Like, really, you're.
Yeah, he should know him better than that.
Yeah, you should be like, this is clearly a setup because Roger is the negotiator.
Yeah, because he's the Commissioner Gordon here.
He really is. So being like, it's definitely Roger. He snapped and killed somebody finally. And it's like, are you kidding me? This is a man who you tried to raid the liquor cabinet of.
He kidnapped a man for money that he so totally needs. Roger's so strapped for cash right now. He has no money.
Defo.
Not like he lives in a penthouse mansion or anything. So
No.
Totally needs-
he doesn't
totally
have a
needs
color
$3
changing car.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, what?
no idea.
How does this? I don't understand how this works.
Nanoparticle.
But
Dawson's
it's
like,
very
nobody, we know we can recognize Roger's car. Roger pushes the
black.
button.
And then suddenly it's red. What
blue.
kind of
It's
Tony
pink.
Stark nonsense is this?
It's blue. It's pink.
It's a minivan. It's
Waiting to see what other colors it can change into later. If it does end up changing later, we'll see.
I hope it turns
Though
into a robot.
I did mention when we were watching the first episode or the first few episodes that I wanted to see more of the car. So I am not disappointed in this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of car in this.
With the sunroof that they jump into.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then he actually pops out of the sunroof later, which is kind of funny. I forgot
When
that
they
was even
crash
there.
through the wall
Yes.
of Beck's hideout.
Oh, right.
It's like, haha, we framed Roger, and then you hear like car sounds, and you're like,
It's like,
they're gonna
bitch,
come
what?
through that door, aren't they? Nope. It's right over. It's like in the air through the wall
Above them.
over Beck's head.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
you were
And I'd
saying.
forgotten
Awesome.
about that.
That was so awesome.
That was really. They faked us out good on that one.
But then he was like, "What? This is a red car." And then Dorothy steps out. And he's like, "Oh, you little missy." And then Roger pops out of his sunroof. I don't know why he doesn't come out of the door. He pops out of the sunroof, and he's like, "You."
Maybe his door was jammed after, plowing through a brick wall.
I am glad that at least Beck was prepared for Roger to show up.
Yes.
Because they got this like giant crane claw thing to clamp down onto the car.
That happened to be in just the right spot to grab that car.
Yeah.
And then super
planning ahead.
magnets that is able to pick up Dorothy.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
when we see her floating, like, Dorothy, are you okay? And she's floating like, maybe she's not okay.
She's okay.
Same deadpan face, just like, what do you want me to do? Stick to the magnet.
It's like I can't
Magnets,
move,
man. Magnets are happening.
Magnetized hair.
Dorothy
Yep.
kind of gets captured, but like, because she's technically let go right away, but it's under the control of Beck, which,
She gets disc washed.
yeah,
He has some kind of headband thing in the jig.
it looks really weird.
And
Yep.
he's also like, oh, you never changed your memory circuits.
Well, I think the headband was from when he used her to control other Dorothy, because it looked the same. It was
Okay.
a big gold piece that he attached onto where her headband was.
Yeah. It's like a disc that goes into her headband tray and then closes over all that.
So
jazz.
kind of like
Yeah.
manipulating your PS2 to play region.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly what it's
And
like.
in fact, when he does that, she starts squeezing the hell out of Roger and telling him that she loves him. So clearly that was the tsundere simulator that we imported onto our Dorothy.
Maybe Yandere simulator at that point.
Yeah,
I
Yandere
just like that
simulator.
he,
My
like,
bad.
attaches it to a pen.
Yeah,
So
I know.
like he can like click it to have her squeeze tighter and tighter and tighter. Like there's like a little notch each time. So he's
This
like,
pen
"Hey, you're gonna
goes
help
to
Roger."
11.
Yeah. His squeeze goes to 11. Yep. But she...
Glomp simulator.
Glomp
2055.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if she wasn't an android that could squeeze all of your organs out of your body.
She would have squeezed him in half.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
easily.
Well, she somehow is able to somewhat override the control by kind of burning out the circuits or
They
whatever.
do like
have
a
you.
weird eyeball like reflection zoom in thing. Like she's recognizing that Roger's in front of her.
Yeah. She recognizes that
Yeah.
Roger's in pain and she shorts it out herself. And no more creepy headband Yandere simulator. Red ring, red ring.
We also see in this case with Roger trying to run away with Dorothy, keep her safe. And man, that must not be easy because she is heavy. Though definitely he looks like he's struggling more so than the first batch of episodes where he carries Dorothy princess style, jumping from Dorothy 1
Yeah.
to the big O. I'm like, how? No. She weighs more than that.
Physics.
Can you
Yeah.
can you curl like 300 pounds, Roger? Because that's what you look like you're doing right now. Maybe even more.
Magnets.
How did
How'd you
More
get there?
magnets. Big O has magnets.
So like yeah, Beck gets
My
his
magnets.
new robot out and he's like, haha,
Yeah.
Roger, look at you try to run
The-
away as
I-
Roger's like doing the Terminator shuffle. Like he's being not the Terminator.
I
he's
wrote it
being,
down. The Beck Victory Deluxe. What kind
Yes.
of name? What a name!
Wow.
I mean, it looks like it's going gold the whole time. Both
Right?
arms are up in the air.
Yep.
It has like a star head or something. So
Yep.
it's like, yay!
Yay, victory.
I mean, it even does a little dance, so you know.
I can't remember if this ever gets answered during the course of the show, but it's like, who's building these robots for him? I'm pretty sure
No
this is not
idea.
the last time we'll see him in a giant robot.
Oh, no.
No idea.
Oh, no.
Who's funding this?
Or,
Who's making these
steal it?
robots?
Kidnapper for
Or does
a-
he steal it?
No, it breaks
Oh,
him out of
what's his-
prison.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I have an idea who
Or his
probably
Goonies
does it.
stole it.
Maybe.
It's the guy, like the guy that showed up. Like he's in that episode.
Which guy?
The guy that's like watching on TV, saying
Oh, yeah,
that
that was-
negotiation was failing or whatever. That's the guy.
We forgot to comment about that on episode 7 during the underwater thing. There's like some guy who is watching everything happening and knows that Roger is inside the Big O. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
So maybe it is
he's
him.
he's important.
I full disclosure, I was asleep during that episode, so I
Oh. Oh,
do not
no.
remember seeing that guy.
He shows
You know
up
who
very
he is
briefly.
though.
If it's the same guy I'm thinking of,
Sure. Yes. Mind meld.
The one with the hat.
Mind meld outside the episode.
See, that's why I said it.
He has like a weird suit on, like a white suit or something.
Oh yeah, white suit man with the phone with all the buttons on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white phone.
He's probably spending all this money on giant robots
Yeah.
that then get their ass kicked by the Big O.
This is a good mech battle, though. Like, there's a lot of actual action going on. It kind of goes back and forth. We see that lasers don't actually work on the Big O, which I was like, oh, that's neat. And
It's
lucky.
helpful.
And very lucky. Because Beck fires one of his lasers at like, with the hand spins and then fires a laser, and it kind of reflects off the Big O's head and hits some dome thing like next door.
And then he's like,
Oops.
oh,
Oh, our lasers don't work. Whoops. Lots of good punching and
doesn't he
fighting.
do some kind of like the robot does a weird little dance and then that's where Big O comes up?
Yeah, it
underneath
was
the-
it was stomping on the building that Roger and Dorothy,
Oh, yeah,
Dorothy
that's
tried
right.
to flee into, and it looked like
Which
it was
you
doing.
watch that and you're like, okay, Roger's fleeing, and then he goes into a building. I'm like, you're being chased by a giant robot, dude.
Yeah.
A building is not going to save you. It's not
The-
a large building either. It's a very
stomping-
small
Worst thing you
building.
could do.
I know it's probably the dumbest thing to do is run into a building that you can get crushed under.
The
But
stomping reminded me of like a Monster Hunter emotion. Like,
stomp,
it looked like Prance. That's what.
yeah,
it looked
he
like.
was he
Wow.
was very prancy with his arms up in the air. He's like, haha, Roger, I've smashed you.
Little does he know
Big O comes up from
that the Big O crazy train has rolled off the rails
Oh, yeah, that's
underneath this building.
Yep.
through the wall. Who needs tracks when you have a train?
Yep.
Multi-track drifting.
It was very good.
Drifting train.
Big O paradigm drift.
So Roger ends up defeating Beck Victory Deluxe. He has the head with the pilots and stuff inside, still in the clutches of Big O's hands.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's about to crush them, killing them, squeezing them in the robots.
Yep.
No, he drops it off at the police station. So
We do get a
Yeah,
fun
which
coffee
is-
cup cut,
Yeah, which
though.
is a nice like throwback to when he did it the first time. Except he had them in a van. And
Yeah.
he dropped them in front of Dawson, and this time he just has them in a giant head and drops them in front of Dawson.
This is getting worse. Fix this problem, please.
and then here
Dawson's
comes,
like, "What? Oh, Beck. Oh, okay."
Okay.
and then we have Mr. Wise come in to talk to them about, like, oh, I can corroborate the story or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
rolls up.
We forgot to talk about why Mr. Wise was doing all that stuff in the
Oh,
first
right.
place.
Yeah, why he sold Roger out. Turns out that his son being 40 years old is very pertinent because I guess...
That's when everyone lost their memories 40 years ago.
Yes. So he was very shortly after the memory loss an infant. So his dad, Mr. Weiss, apparently fell in love with someone after they lost their memories. They, were comforted by each other's presence, and his mom died in childbirth. So I guess it's implied that they don't really know who his dad was.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Weiss was trying to protect his son from the knowledge that, they don't know who his dad is.
And apparently the social shame.
And the
I guess.
social shame, because, if
Comes
you
with
have a
that.
big fucking painting in your living room, the social shame is a real thing, I guess.
Well, so if it's that, it's just like, okay, like, is it that shameful to not know who this kid's father is when it
Yeah.
happened when everyone lost their memories?
That is true.
I was like, okay.
That is true.
Whatever you say.
Okay, rich man, whatever. So yes, so that's why, or Roger says after the episode that Beck found out the secret from underground circles, and so Weiss was being blackmailed while also dealing with this hostage situation.
Yeah. And the last comment I want to make is Dorothy asks the toughest questions in this episode. Holy shit.
Yep,
Like
she
the
even
fir-
She
Deep
even
cuts.
is like, okay, you don't want the second question.
Yeah,
if you
what
think
was the first one?
one's hard.
Like, did Mr. Weiss fall in love with the other person due out of loneliness for not having memories anymore?
I think
like
so.
that.
And then Roger's like, "Oh, I can't answer that question. It's personal
to each person.
It's very difficult. And then the even more difficult question: if you and I had no memories and met each other, would we fall in love? Like, oof,
Ooh.
whoa,
Not touching that one with a 40-foot pole.
Roger kind of backs away and he turns away from Dorothy and he's like, I can't answer that question.
Yep. That's how that ends.
All right, and that's the last episode for this disc. So let's get on to voice roles.
Yay.
Eve, with your help, we only have 3, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
First one is Bonnie Fraser. Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
It's Furia Toru, who everyone knows as Amuro from Gundam series.
Nice.
And then Ribbons from Double O, the original voice of Mamoru or Tuxedo Mask.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
because now it's Noji Ken.
Okay.
And he's also Yamcha, Elizabeth in Gintama, Sabo in One Piece.
Nice.
I'm just picturing that now.
Yes. The original Pegasus Seiya, Tony in Torzatera, and Cashin in Cashin Sins.
Always like main character, but then Elizabeth is like
Yeah, I know.
character.
Well, Gintama is all sorts of...
I know, and Gintama's weird, but he's like classic main character voice.
Yeah. And also, I guess his more current roles is Amuro and Ribbons in the new Gundam Versus game.
Nice. In English, Bonnie's played by Steve Kramer, who we've mentioned before because he was the voice of Ryu in the Akira Streamline dub. He's also Hadul, the old wizard in Outlaw Star, the pervy old one. And he's more known for being Shunsui Kyoraku in Bleach, Sarutobi, or the third Hokage in Naruto. And you can you will be able to soon hear him as Tonkichi in the Furikuri Season 2 or Furikuri Progressive.
Oh.
Whatever. So yeah. Next
we have Instro, voiced by Nojima Akio, who is the father of Kenji and Hirofumi Nojima, who is Gino in Psychopaths. So that's his dad.
Kate perks up over in the corner.
Oh.
What? Someone said Psychopaths. What?
Yeah. So he does Mitsuzo, the butler in Kill la Kill, Hanya and Kenshin, and Bernard and Rosa Versailles.
Nice. In English, he's played by Kirk Thornton, credited as Sparky Thornton, who we mentioned before as Ark Manoff in Outlaw Star, along with Hansa and Utsutsu in Ninja Scroll. Other more notable roles he's been Sazbomb in I'll Know a Zero, Kai Shimada in March Comes In Like a Lion, Kisame in Naruto, Saito in Rurouni Kenshin, the TV series.
That's Saito.
Yeah, and then Guile in the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, and Klein in Sword Art Online.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. I got to work with him.
Yeah, he is
briefly.
He has like 5 different aliases he was known by in
Wow.
the thing, and there's just a lot to go over.
He does a lot of like directing stuff too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Should we mention the...
The what?
Because of union issues, a lot of the cast was under a pseudonym.
Oh, yeah. It's nice because they don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like
that's
anime-
it's a super recent thing too.
Yeah, animes become like you don't have to they want your actual name and stuff in there. You don't have to hide behind a persona or whatever. All right. Lastly,
Yes, it's Beck, or Jason Beck. It's Otsuka Hochu. He's the Don Galacia in 91 Days. Sato in Ajin. Toru in Arakawa Under the Bridge. Raban in Berserk movies. Shaft in Cowboy Bebop.
Shaft?
Yes, he looks like actual Shaft.
okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one episode.
Yeah.
Forgot about that episode.
I thought that'd be fun. Bookman and D. Gray Man. Loki in Digital Devil Story. Shiki in Durara, Jianye in
Oh.
Sayuki, Abuto in Gintama, Surumi in Golden Kamui, Shun in Hokuto no Ken, Zeus in Kamigami, Chibori in G Gundam, and then Yazan in both Zeta and Double Zeta, Jiraiya in Naruto, and Kuronoe in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Dang.
Beck is played by Robert Buchholz. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Buchholz, I think?
Buchholz, credited as Robert Wicks in the listings and stuff. We know him because we mentioned this in the off passing. He's Gene Starwind in Outlaw Star. He also plays Ryu in Akira, but he's Ryu in the animes or Bang Zoom dub, not the streamlined dub. He's also Paz in Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, Tokichiro Harajuku in Metal Fighter Miku, and Hub Lebowski in Wolf's Rain.
Wow. There's
I don't
only
even
one
remember that
Lebowski.
character.
All right. So, how'd you guys enjoy this batch of episodes?
I liked them.
Cool.
I feel like, again, I keep telling or saying this over and over again when we're not recording, but I'll do it this time. The last time I watched Big O, I didn't have a driver's license. So, it to me, like, when I first started watching it, it really grabbed me and held on to me just because of the aesthetic and because of the way it told the stories every episode. And it's still holding me. So I'm quite pleased that I'm not looking at this watch through like, God, my taste was shit when I was 15.
Does anyone have a favorite and least favorite of this batch? How about that? We don't really ask this one that much.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
In
Do
many
you-
ways.
Do you have a favorite one or a least favorite one, Ed, for this?
I mean, I liked the cat episode and I liked the piano episode. I don't know that was the least favorite. But the underwater one was kind of like the least.
Yeah, it's kind of meh.
It wasn't terrible. It was just kind of who
Yeah,
cares?
like, out of a trilogy, one of them has to be the worst one. It doesn't mean necessarily bad.
And it was kind of inconclusive.
I think
Yeah.
that one is the world building episode. It doesn't make sense
probably.
because
But it
all of
didn't-
the plot points that they bring up are stuff that are later. So
Okay.
the whole episode didn't make any sense, but they had to drop some important pieces in
Yeah.
there. So
That's true.
I mean, the episode was like, I was like, why is it starting in this order? Why don't we start in the normal order? I don't understand. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I also thought Call from the Past was weak. I had a tough time thinking between the cat episode and intro. I'm leaning more towards the cat episode because the cat was so cute. So I'm going with the missing cat over the legacy of Amadeus. So yeah. Anyone else? Eve?
I don't know. I thought Amadeus one was cute.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's like a close second for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
like
personally liked Beck Comes Back as my favorite top one for this. But again, like, that probably has the most like pieces of what I like about Big O in it. The like mech battles and a lot of, I mean, Dorothy's my favorite, and there was a lot of Dorothy development in all of these episodes.
Yeah.
But I like watching Dorothy and Roger's relationship, and so I felt like that episode had
Yeah, there
the
was
most
a
of
lot
that.
of development in that episode.
Yeah.
That. Karen? Can you pick one? You must choose. There can only be one.
Roll a 4-sided die.
5.
yeah, but
Oh, right, 5.
we're not counting one.
she was like blinking.
She was blinking.
I was just like Caitlin was trying
Yeah, I
to
was
figure out
kinda like,
4 or 5. What? It's hard because I see lots of little pieces in there. Since I haven't watched it in a while, that I was like, okay, yes, I see the development now that I've got some distance to it. So it's hard to pick like a favorite. I did like
That's why I save you and Garrett for last.
Yeah. I did like the piano one for the themes that one showed. So I would probably be like my favorite out of all those.
Okay. How about you, Garrett?
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say and a little unfair because I slept through the whole middle section of this. And that's not Big O's fault. I just didn't sleep at all last night. I don't know. I mean, like I'm watching it, and as I'm watching, I'm kind of like Caitlin, where I'm realizing or re-seeing like what I liked about the original. But then, and I feel like I probably said it last time too, is that there's just this bad taste in my mouth because I know where this ends, and I'm just like, oh, you had such a great start, and then you fucked it all up. So I don't know.
Kate, do you have a favorite episode?
Corner Kate, talk to us.
I really liked the cat episode because the cat was really cute. But there wasn't enough cat in it, and then what happened to the cat was also
terrible.
I didn't
It
like
was
that.
bad. Yeah.
I didn't like the part where the cat had something bad happen to it.
I would probably say the piano episode because I felt like it had some really good things to say about relationships, and also we get a lot of Dorothy piano playing, which like I don't remember much from when I watched this the first time on Toonami, but I remember the piano playing. So it was like, oh hey, it's like, oh, I saw this one. I remember that.
I remember the
Nice.
piano.
Nice. All right. That'll about wrap it up for this episode. We have a lot more episodes you guys can listen to, though. We are on Apple Podcasts, formerly iTunes, along with Stitcher, Google Play, Blueberry, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podbean, Overcast, and YouTube. And all of our episodes are also available on our website, vintageanimeclub.com. We have Facebook at Vintage Anime Club, Twitter at Vintage Anime Pod, Instagram, Vintage Anime Club. There's no shortening for our YouTube yet because we need 100 subscribers. So go help on that, along with any reviews you want to put on any of those podcast aggregate sites. You have questions, ask us on our email, vintageanimeclub@gmail.com, or social media. That works too. And you can also help support the show by purchasing the Big O on either Amazon or Right Stuff affiliate links. Hopefully there's some kind of summer sale happening soon because I feel like Big O is worth owning. It's very good so far. Like Garrett's thoughts aside.
Hey, the first season is great.
Yeah.
You can stop after that.
Yeah.
Well, we have the full set now, so
Yes.
you can actually watch it all the way through.
Yes, you can. And Caitlin, where can people find you?
People can find me on both Twitter and Instagram, though I don't use the Twitwit as much as I use the Instagram.
Use the gram.
Use the gram. But you can find me on both at Koject, Kouject, or on Facebook at We're Not Twins Cosplay. But the gram is the fastest.
The gram.
Ed, where can people find you?
As usual, I'm at the very long Twitter handle, Ippen no Kui Nashi. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Karen.
To be the opposite of Ed, I am on just about everything as Raya Cosplay, so you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and World Cosplay and ACP and yeah, just about everything. So
Where?
that's it.
Eve, how about you?
On Twitter, Evil Cause 7, EVEIL COS7, and then Eve on both ACP and World Cosplay.
Garrett?
You can find me on Twitter at Black Riku. That's BLKRIKU. Pretty much everywhere where you see that, that's me. Say hi. I'm very lonely.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ItchNob. I will be at Anime Expo. I actually did get my press pass. Like, oh,
right.
I'm going.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So hopefully there'll be some fun events to do there. We are not doing a panel or a meetup or anything. Though I'm sure there's a classic cosplay meetup or whatever.
I'm sure there's a bar somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's always a bar.
Vintage Anime Club meetup at the J Dubs.
Just
They do have some
drinking
nice
at the
drinks,
bar.
though.
They do. It's a little. Sometimes it's a little pricey, but it's downtown LA. What is not pricey?
I mean, mostly I'm there for the seats.
Or I mean, you can go down the street from the Staples Center to the Kanya Rum Bar.
if you know someone who's a member. So yeah,
We do.
don't give hints away. And then Kate, you can find at a couple places. She's on Twitter at Taiko-chan and Instagram at taiko.chan. All right, that'll wrap it up for our show. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you all out there for listening. We call this meeting adjourned. We don't really have classes, but
I have a solo
Kampai!
Yay!
Yes, this time my love's the real thing. Never felt that love is so right. The world seems such an empty place. We need someone we could give our all. Maybe it's you. We'll be together now and forever.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by all our leftover beer and cider. Woo! What did we drink today? We drank Sapporo Premium, a couple of bottles of Angry Orchard cider, some Mike's Hard Lemonade.
We
and
had
then
some
Blue Moon.
A variety pack of that.
Yeah. What was your favorite flavor, Garrett?
All.
The black cherry was nice.
I still like Sapporo and Blue Moon. I am beer drinking. I did have a Mike's Hard Lemonade and a cider, but yeah, I did drink all of them. All right, Memorial Day. Woo!
Yay!
See ya.